Hi everyone. In the following video, we are going to study a new verb tense, which is future perfect continuous. The future perfect continuous is used to express actions that started in the past, but will get crossed with another action in the future. Now, the structure to write a sentence with this verb tense, as always, needs a subject, some auxiliary verbs in this case, such as will, have, and been, and our main verb, which has to be in present participle or in the ing ending. Then a complement, and it is important to analyze that we need a period of time because, as I said before, we have an action that started in the past and an action that will happen in the future, and they will get crossed. So it is important to have a period of time. Now, in a few moments, we will analyze a sentence, but it is important to know the context. And in this case, the context is the sixth mass extinction. A better way to understand the context is using the GAPS acronym, which stands for genre, audience, purpose, and style. And our genre is an argumentative article. Our audience is people not conscious enough about this topic. The purpose is create conscience on the damage our planet is suffering. And finally, our style is formal and persuasive. Okay. Before to analyze the sentence, it is important to let you know about the source from where I retrieved this sentence. And it was a web page called theweek.com. The author of this article is the Week staff, and the name of the article is The Sixth Mass Extinction Explained. Now, here is our original sentence retrieved from the text. Ocean reefs, which sustain more than 25% of marine life, have declined by 50% already and could be lost altogether by 2050. As you can see, this sentence is not in our verb tense, but we have a period of time, like by 2050, and this can help us to modify our sentence in order to make it into future perfect continuous. Let's see what happens if we modify our sentence. Now here is our modified sentence. By 2050, ocean reefs, which sustain more than 25% of marine life, will have been disappearing altogether for 31 years. In order to analyze our sentence that now already has the verb tense that we are using, we have to find clauses. And to find a clause, all we have to do is to find a subject and a verb. Now, here we have highlighted the main clause, which is ocean reefs will have been disappearing altogether for 31 years. And we have an embedded clause also working as an adjective clause, which is which sustain more than 25% of marine life. Now, here is the analysis for the main clause. Obviously, it is a complex sentence because it is not a compound sentence. It doesn't have a coordinating conjunction, so it is a complex sentence. Now, this is our subject and our verb. Reefs will have been disappearing. Now, reefs, it is a common and countable noun and is being modified by a noun functioning as an adjective, like ocean. Will have been disappearing have three auxiliary verbs such as will, have, and been, and a main verb that is disappearing, and this verb is in present participle. Now we have a couple of prepositional phrases such as by 2050, and by obviously is a preposition. 2050, in this case, it is a common noun. We have also the adverb of grade, altogether. Altogether is a word that can mean completely or absolutely, so it is an adverb of grade. And we have another prepositional phrase, such as for 31 years. For, it is a preposition, 31 is a quantifier, and years is an abstract and countable noun. Now, let's analyze our embedded clause or our dependent clause or our adjective clause. Here is which sustain percent. Which sustain percent? It is a clause modifying our main subject, such as ocean reefs. That's why we have ocean reefs and then a riser where we find the embedded clause or the dependent clause where we find which sustain percent. Which, it is a relative pronoun functioning as the subject. Sustain is a verb in simple present, and percent, it is a common noun functioning as the direct object. Now, we also have a comparison, such as more than, another quantifier like 25, and another prepositional phrase which is of marine life. Of, obviously, it is a preposition. Marine, it is an attributive adjective, and life is an abstract noun. Now we have our modified sentence using the verb tense future perfect continuous, and this is all the words we can analyze and all the labels we can give it to them. Let's see another example.
So we have the second example, which is a complex sentence, and we decide to transform it in a future perfect continuous sentence. And as you can see, we just add the auxiliaries and transform the main verb to make it future perfect continuous. Example. And we have the independent clause, and we is a pronoun and is acting as a subject. We have been are the auxiliary of the main verb, which is awaiting, and for 50 years is a prepositional phrase where for is acting as a preposition, years is acting as a subject, and 50 is an adjective. How we can know that? Because it's below of years and it's magnifying years. That is a noun. And you can see it more specifically with a pronoun also, and this is the auxiliary, future perfect continuous auxiliary. Waiting is a continuous verb form, and I think that's all. And then we have the dependent clause, that is also a adverb clause, which is joined by the independent clause with until. Until is a subordinate conjunction and also is a connector. As you can see, Pauls is a subject and a concrete noun. Therefore, the is a definite article, and milk is a simple present verb form. And this is how the whole sentence is, whole the things that compose the sentence is acting. And I think that's all. Okay, so as our third example, we choose this simple future sentence and we transform to a future perfect continuous sentence. And this is how it is diagrammed, and this is how it is diagrammed, but explain it. So we start with the subject most. There is an indefinite pronoun that function as our subject, and with the prepositional frames of the reptiles, where we use of as the preposition, reptiles as a countable, common, and concrete noun that works as the subject of the preposition, and the definite article the right here. Then, as our verb, we have will, have been, suffering, where will, have, and been are the auxiliary verb, and suffering is the main verb of the examples. And we already have other prepositional phrases, as you can see. There is for 100 years, where for is the preposition, years is a countable noun and working as the object of the preposition, and 100 that is working like an adjective because it's magnifying years. And I think that's all for these are 3 examples.